Start with Keith Smith.
Hi, Brad. It seemed like last night you guys might have been getting into your offensive actions a little bit earlier in the shot clock and getting the ball, not necessarily fast break, but just getting the ball up. Is that something you guys are looking to do, is start stuff earlier in the clock?
Yeah, that was one of the 2 or 3 things that we talked about at shoot around yesterday. Not only getting there, but then putting in a couple of easy actions to get into that would almost demand movement, force movement. And, we didn't score much in the first, 10 possessions or so, but you could tell we were moving it right. We were spaced right. Guys were running the spots. You knew that it would be we were going to get great shots eventually.
Adam Himmelsbach.
Hey, Brad. When we spoke to Marcus a few days ago, he was saying how he was only able to run at like 30 to 40%. Was still walking with a bit of a limp. Is this something now where you feel like he could potentially be out for, through the All-Star break? And also, when you're watching these games now, what are the ways that you can tell he's not there? Like, what are the ways you can see you're really missing him?
Well, the last time I saw him on the court was a couple of days ago. I thought he looked a lot better. And, I know he's working hard to try to get back, but looking better in a 1-on-0 shooting drill doesn't always translate to being cleared to play 5-on-5 when you're talking about that injury. I just think, he's a really good player. He's a good player on both ends of the court. He moves the ball. He's our leader in assists on our team. He's obviously capable of scoring the ball, and he's one of the game's really good perimeter defenders. So obviously when you miss a guy like that, you're going to be missing something. Everybody goes through that. Every team loses guys. And so it's not only on everybody else to step up, but it's also a great opportunity. We're seeing that right now. I think that, we got good play and high energy play from our bench last night. And I thought that was really a positive.
Jim Conlon.
Hi, Brad. You play Atlanta Hawks now 3 times in your next 5 games. I suppose in terms of the battle and just particular matchup, without Kemba Walker, without Marcus Smart, 2 of your prominent guard defenders, is it going to be very much to try and stop Trae Young's 3-point game behind the arc tonight? Is that going to be a big facet of your defensive game plan?
Well, I think Trae just in general is, right? I think Trae's 3-point game in his deep range opens up a lot of stuff that's even higher percentage. When you talk about getting fouled, getting people to bite on shot fakes. He's great at jumping back into contact. And then if he gets downhill, he's great with the lob or the floater. And so I think that range opens all that up. And certainly that's a huge area of emphasis anytime you're playing the Hawks. But they've got a lot of good players. I think, and they've got some guys out. But the depth of this team when full would be awfully impressive. And the depth tonight is really impressive when you talk about, bringing guys like Gallinari, Snell, guys like that off the bench. These guys have been good for a long time. And obviously with Young, it's all built around Young, but Herder's a good player. Reddish is a good player. Capella is a great addition, and Collins is having a great year again. So it's a talented team around a guy that can really make plays for himself and others.
John Corrales.
Brad, one element of playing Trae Young is avoiding drawing the fouls that he creatively creates. How do you do that? How do you chase over a pick and run him off the 3-point line and still avoid that little stop and jump back that he does? And on top of that, what's your opinion on those kind of plays in general? Because a lot of people don't seem to think that those are part of basketball.
I'm not really going to comment on the second part. I don't want that to be taken out of context by any means. I think that at the end of the day, it's a great challenge to guard all these great players off of these picks. You go under, they burn you with a 3. You switch, then they can, get into what they do best and keep people off balance. You chase the pick, I think you try your best to get the correct angle so it's hard to jump back into you. Easier said than done, especially if a pick is well set. And I think that's, we're going to do our best to play without fouling, but that's certainly a huge emphasis because, I think if you look to things you can control, over our first 27 games, there's a couple games that have been turned by fouling. And so you have to be tough, you have to play physical, but you have to do so by being solid without fouling. He'll get to the line some, right? Just always does. But then you hope that your body position is such that, it's not very often.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there.